Hi everyone, this is Patty again. My last video dealt with how to cook a whole chicken. Today we're going to be working on bone broth. There are so many benefits to bone broth between the collagen and the different things that rebuild your joints and help your immune system and help your digestive system, and just full of good stuff like minerals and vitamins. And it also is a great way to not waste the things of the meat that we used to throw away. Well, but not our grandparents. Our grandparents didn't throw this away. So we're getting back to basics today, and I wanted to show you how to do this. So in here we have a little more than a chicken's worth of bones that I had saved from the previous chicken being cooked. To this we're going to add a coarsely chopped onion, coarsely chopped carrots. They're not even peeled. Just cut off the ends, cut them into some big chunks. And that was 3 carrots. This is 4 celery stalks and 1 onion. And this is a great way to use up the celery stalks from the outside that are kind of tough and chewy. This is going to be cooking for a really long time, so when it's all done, all these veggies can either go in the compost bin or be fed to the dog, or you can eat them if you want. We have 3 bay leaves here. Now I'm a big fan of bay leaf. If you don't like bay leaf, you don't need to add this. And we've got 3 cloves of garlic that have been crushed. So what I do is use the back side of a knife and crush them and then pull off the peel, and those are going in. At this point you don't need to add a lot of seasoning, so again, this is not rocket science. I try to add about 2 teaspoons worth of salt. When it's all said and done, you can taste it and adjust the seasoning to your liking. Fresh black pepper. Now here's a secret ingredient that seems to be what's in the mystery of bone broth. This is apple cider vinegar. Now I don't use anything except raw apple cider vinegar at my house. I know that regular apple cider vinegar that's been pasteurized will do the same thing of what we needed to do here in this particular case, and we will be cooking this. So if you don't want to waste your good raw apple cider vinegar, you can use the regular pasteurized kind, but this is what we have at our house. This is what I'm going to use. When you add the apple cider vinegar to the bones and the bone broth, and as it begins to heat, it starts to leach out those minerals and vitamins from the bones, and this is kind of an important piece of the puzzle. So I'm adding about a tablespoon. That might have been a tablespoon and a half. Not rocket science. Throw that in there. And here's another mystery item that we haven't seen in a while. Be curious to get a little poll and find out how many of you know what to do with the chicken giblets, gizzard, all those wonderful parts that everybody's so grossed out about. Well, here we have some chicken necks and some chicken livers. And the chicken livers have a lot of nutrients in them, and the chicken neck has a lot of flavor and has a lot of bones in it as well. So we're going to pour these in. And this is a nice way to get all the nutrients out of those parts of the chicken that you think are gross and don't want to put in your stuffing. I personally put them in my stuffing because it's an amazing flavor. But this is going to add so much flavor and nutrition to your bone broth. So when that's all said and done, we're going to fill this completely full with water. You can see, not rocket science, as I said several times. I'm trying to take all the mystery out of these things. We're going to cover this, and we're going to cook this on low for at least a day. You can go up to 2 days. I find that after 2 days, things kind of break down to a point that I don't really like how they're looking, and I just don't think it's worth it after 2 days. So once this is cooked for 2 whole days, you're going to strain out all the solids, and you're going to store the liquid. And like I said before, the solid carrots and celery and onion, things like that, they can go in the compost bin. I would not put bones in your compost bin. Some people like to feed the bones to their animals. Now, I'm not recommending you do that, because obviously I don't want to be getting any phone calls about how their dog choked on something. But once these bones have been cooked to the point where you can crush them in your fingers, you really don't have the same risk as you would if they just got a freshly cooked chicken bone. So anyway, you're going to strain all the solids. You can actually add those bones back and start over with onions, carrots, celery, and all your flavor enhancers, and you can get at least 2 rounds of bone broth out of 1 set of bones. So you can see how we're really trying to stretch the dollar, and in this eating healthy thing, and teaching you how to get the most flavor out of this. So the first batch is going to have the most flavor for something like soup or gravy. The second batch won't have quite as much flavor, but it will definitely have all of the health benefits that the first batch had, because you're just continuing to pull those minerals and vitamins out of those bones. Once you've strained it into mason jars, this will get you about 3 or 4 mason jars full of bone broth. As you see here, we have the fat that's collected at the top. If this is not a perfectly raised chicken, I would not recommend eating the fat of a factory raised chicken or even a non-organic all-natural chicken. I would recommend discarding the fat, because the fat is where all of the toxins and pesticides and things that are in the animal go. So you want to strain that off, and underneath it you'll have a gelatinous substance that once heated becomes a broth, and that will be your base for your soups or your gravies. So I hope this was all helpful to you. Take some of the mystery out of bone broth. If you have any questions, post them below, and we're going to try to link all the videos that we're doing in this series together so that you can go and click on whatever link it is that you want to learn about. I'd like to give a shout out to my gym, Soul Lift in Beaver, PA. These are the folks that are probably going to be seeing this video for the first time, to help them in their healthy eating and wellness journey. And until next time, see you later.